Walter Elias Disney, animation legend, theme park pioneer. Ice Cube? For over 100 years his name has been ingrained into entertainment history. Even after his death in 1966, his studios continue to honour his legacy, producing short and feature films to the present day. And they put Marvel and Star Wars, but that's a tale best left for another day. Disney's most famous creation has to be the iconic Mickey Mouse, designed in partnership with Ub Iwerks. You know Mickey Mouse. Like the McDonald's Golden Arches, Mickey is an iconic, instantly recognisable logo and brand ambassador. Though if I'm honest, I actually prefer Donald Duck. Sorry, Mick. Being so iconic, it was only a matter of time before Mickey would end up stepping into video games. In the early 1980s, Nintendo secured the license to produce a few Disney versions of their early Game & Watch series. Later, 1983 would see Mickey's first console appearance in Sorcerer's Apprentice for the Atari 2600. Roberta Williams would design a PC adventure game, Mickey's Space Adventure, the following year. In 1987, Hudson Soft would develop the platformer Mickey Mousecapade for the NES. The British software company Gremlin Graphics would release Mickey Mouse, the computer game, for all the 8-bit micros of the time in 1988. But it could be argued that it was a Disney partnership with Sega that would produce one of the most well-regarded and fondly remembered games in Mickey's career. 1990 saw the release of Castle of Illusion on Sega Mega Drive. Directed by Emiko Yamamoto, the game is a solid platformer romp where Mickey must chase down the evil witch Mizrabel, who has abducted Minnie Mouse in order to steal her youthful energy, making her young and beautiful again. Yeah, good luck with that, mate. The game puts the player in the yellow clogs of the mouse, who must traverse the eponymous Castle of Said Illusions, defeating Mizrabel's fantasy guardians in order to obtain precious gemstones to hold the power to defeat the evil witch. Honestly, you'd think giving your guardians pieces of the power to destroy you is a bad idea, right? Maybe yeet those things into their furthest abyss? Just a thought. The game has 5 stages to traverse, each one containing unique environments, enemies and hazards. Each is separated into smaller areas. The Enchanted Forest, the Land of Sentient Toys, a library, Diabetes City. The game's easy mode actually ends after a cut-down version of the 3rd level, which includes no bosses. I'd heavily suggest playing on at least normal to experience the game in full. Mickey's health is shown in the HUD at the bottom of the screen. Each time he is hit by an enemy, he loses some power. When his power is depleted, he does a jaunty little dance to what I assume is Mouse Heaven. But don't worry, collecting stars will replenish your power meter and help avoid unnecessarily twirling into the sky. If you do happen to succumb to doing the aerial twist, you have a number of lives, which will spawn Mickey back to the start of the current area. You can gain more lives by finding severed mouse ears in the environment. Opening the first unnecessarily large door in the atrium leads you to the forest area. Sentient trees are not your friends here, nor are the mushrooms. At least you can grab apples to throw at the flora and fauna. And when times are tough, Mickey's arse is the answer. It must be noted that the bum bash is only triggered by either pressing the jump button or down on the D-pad when already airborne. Director Yamamoto stated this was a deliberate design choice in her interview with the recently shuttered Game Informer back in 2013.
When we were testing the game, we felt that just having the jump happen automatically without input didn't make players feel like they were the ones doing the jumps. The enemies are set up in ways that you can bounce from enemy to enemy in a row. Adding that timing mechanic and input made the players feel good and in control.
And as for the bosses, there's a good chunk of variety, and a noticeably red Pete's Dragon for some reason, all of which must be dispatched via the medium of buttock bounce once they enter a vulnerable state. Their attacks usually speed up after feeling the brunt of Mickey's armoured derriere, so you'd better be ready to dodge. The main gameplay loop is traditional platforming fare. The game didn't really push any boundaries or do anything special, yet it was a perfect distillation of what makes a very good platform game. The animation at the time, particularly Mickey himself, was handled with great care and attention to detail. It is suggested that it may have been Mickey who first introduced the concept of idle animations, little character movements when no inputs are pressed. Linked in the description below is a fantastic article from Sega16.com. They go into detail with more behind the scenes development info straight from Yamamoto herself. Worth a read, I guarantee. Castle of Illusion was also released on the Sega Master System and Game Gear. These weren't just ports, despite using the same scenarios. The level design on the 8-bit machines is different to that of the 16-bit one. Personally, I never played these ones, but I have heard that they're very good quality games in their own right. The enduring popularity of the game led to an unexpected remake in 2013 from Sega Studios Australia, overseen by Yamamoto in a supervisory role. It was released on PS3, Xbox 360 and iOS to decent reviews. I played it a bit, but felt it had lost some of its soul in the transition to a 2.5D style and adding an obnoxious narrator. It does have a decent remix soundtrack by the legendary Grant Kirkhope though, still worth checking out if you're a fan of the original. It's at the very least faithful to its roots. Yamamoto would continue at Sega, working on further Disney titles like Quackshot and the fantastic co-op pseudo-sequel World of Illusion. From the mid-90s she'd work instead for Disney themselves, working as a senior producer on loads of their games. Today she's probably most famous for producing the Disney Square crossover series Kingdom Hearts, whose naming conventions confuse the hell out of me. 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue? What does that even mean? What's next? 3.4 plus Lunchbox Sonata? So that was Castle of Illusion, a springboard for Disney's foray into gaming. A solid platformer starring arguably the most famous cartoon character. A perfect blend of brand licensing and concept design that never felt like a quick, cynical cash grab. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to avoid a queue at the post office by bouncing on everyone with my inexplicably hard arse.